Africa holds extraordinary mineral wealth of over 30% of mineral resources. By the time we properly map the continent and prove the resources with exploration, we'll discover so much more. Africa holds around 60% of the best solar sources in the world, holds the largest untapped hydropower potential on the planet, largest uncultivated arable land. Africa holds the resource base on which much of the world's next industrial chapter will depend. So let us be clear. A prosperous and industrialized Africa is not a case for occasional charity or development assistance. It is one of the greatest economic opportunities of the 21st century. Demographics is destiny. The question before us is whether Africa will capture the value of its own century or simply host it for others. Whether we will continue to export raw materials and import finished goods, whether we will continue to export jobs and import inflation, whether capital will continue to pass through Africa or stay in Africa and build the continent. Earlier today, the State of Africa's Infrastructure Report 2026 was launched. Its message is clear. Africa's infrastructure agenda is not a side conversation in development. It is the central economic agenda, because infrastructure is not merely about closing gaps. It's about building platforms. Platforms for production, for trade, industrialization, platforms for resilience. Platforms that shift Africa from being a supplier of raw materials to being a producer of value. That means corridors, not isolated roads, energy systems, not disconnected assets, processing capacity, not extraction alone, digital backbones, not fragmented networks, industrial ecosystems, not standalone projects. And these systems cannot be built country by country in isolation. Resource basins do not respect national borders. Demand centers do not respect national borders. Power systems do not respect national borders. Trade flows do not respect national borders. And neither should our ambition. The Africa we build must be built together. The report reminds us of something equally important. Africa is not capital poor. Africa's capital is trapped in short-term instruments that do not finance the transformation of potential into prosperity. Across our banking systems, our pension funds, our insurance pools, and other domestic financial institutions, we now have capital growing. The first report we published indicated capital of $4 trillion. This recent update indicates capital of up to $4.4 trillion. And here in East Africa, pension and insurance savings already exceed $50 billion. A reallocation of just 10% of that pool towards infrastructure would unlock roughly $5 billion of long-dated capital for roads, rail, power transmission, airports, logistic platforms, and industrial ecosystems. That is not marginal capital. That is catalytic capital. It is capital from our own citizens, our own workers, our own savers, financing the future from which they themselves will benefit.